Hello, divine soul. This is for you if you're a mission soul, a gentle soul, an introvert, but you have a powerful gift to share with the world. This is going to be a multi-dimensional transmission, nice and short and sweet, but it is designed to support you in shifting your perception when it comes to being visible on social media. So I wrote a post that was titled, "You don't have to spam social media to be noticed." And it was a call out to mission souls who have a powerful gift to share with the world. We know that when we're in front of people, when we're in service to humanity, we create powerful transformation. That is certain. And there can be a resistance to marketing, which is the lead generation aspect, the being seen and visible aspect, so that you can grow your audience and call people in, so that you can make this impact, so that you have clients to be able to deliver these divine products and services to. And so marketing, lead generation is a necessity when it comes to business. And we have a powerful platform with social media. We have these platforms that are mostly free. And to be able to have access to this many billion people and to be able to do it without the massive outlay that used to be the way it was in the 80s and 90s and even in the early 2000s is an absolute gift that we get to do that. So the first perception shift I'd like to support you with is that we see that social media is a gift, not a challenge, not annoying, and not something that we feel negatively about. Now, the thing with social media is that only a very, 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 very small percentage of our audience actually sees our content based on a number of things, but mostly the algorithms. And it's my belief and in my experience over 5 years of supporting over 100 mission souls to bring their businesses online, grow their businesses online, do lead generation and become more visible so that they can create the impact that they want to create. In the time of doing that, energetics, your frequency trumps the algorithms every time. There is nothing more powerful than you focusing your life force and your intention on something. And the other side of that is that where there is an undercurrent of a lack of worthiness or a fear of being seen, or the self-esteem, lack of self-esteem, where we think, why would they choose me over somebody else? Where there is an undercurrent of that frequency, we will inhibit ourselves from being seen, no matter how much we show up, no matter how much we push through our resistance to it. And we're like, okay, I've got to just make a post once a day. And you make a post once a day, but you've got this undercurrent, this frequency of, I don't really want to be seen. I'm really scared about what people will think. Then we're going to fall into the lane of the algorithms that mean that you're not visible, because our experience, our life, our reality is a reflection of what's going on inside us, what's going on internally. And so it's really about our frequency. And there are many things that we can do to support you with that. It is one of my zones of genius. It's the thing that I support people with in their journey of sharing their gifts and fulfilling their mission here in this lifetime. And there is some mindset shifts, some new neural pathways that have to be created, and a lot of it is more energetic and frequency work. The second perception shift that I'd love you to have is that being a sensitive soul or being an introvert is actually a superpower. Your gift of being an introvert or being a sensitive soul is, in my opinion, by far more valuable than being any other way. And this is not to diss anybody else, but this is the journey that I have been on myself with becoming what I am deeply sensitive, and I am very much an introvert. And over the years, I've shared my story around how unable I was to be able to show up online, to be able to present in front of groups or share on camera or any of these things. Like if you knew me 6 years ago and then you compared it to how I am now, you would be blown away. I'm blown away, by the journey that I have taken to really come out of my shell, to really unlock my expression, my verbal expression, and my energetic, my full soul expression, so that I'm in alignment with what it is that I'm sharing. And our sensitivity is actually our superpower. And I wanted to share with you a couple of a couple of points that demonstrate why being an introvert and being a sensitive soul is such a gift. So I wrote myself some notes. So introverts, I'll use introvert because most people who are afraid of being seen online are more introverted. They're naturally more introverted. And we will have learned things about that label. We will have learned and we will make it mean certain things, right? And so I have had people say to me in the last few years, "You're not introverted." Yes, I am. I know myself deeply, and yes, I am. I appear, and because of the perception that people have about being introverted, if I'm confident and if I'm sharing my gifts and talents and abilities with the world, that I'm now perceived as extroverted, because that's the perception that people have about those behaviors. But in fact, extroverted people gain energy from being with other people, and by energy going outward, they are energized by that experience. Introverts are, the other way around. They gain energy from withdrawing from the group and restoring within themselves. They restore internally by being away from the group. So in the group, they can show up and share their energy for a limited specific amount of time, and to recharge and recoup, they withdraw from that energy to restore themselves. And so that's the core fundamental difference with the two. So the gifts of being an introvert are that they have very creative minds. Because there's an ability to look inward, then their creativity is they get the opportunity to spend time being deeply reflective. They're not spending most of their time externally focused. And so that internal mechanism supports you to be more self-aware, and it supports you to be more creative. Now, on the flip side of that, the shadow side of that is that we can be, fall into self-judgment and be really self-critical because we're so reflective. And so what we want to do is we want to move our shadowy aspects of our gifts into the light aspect. And the light is seeing that this gift allows us to be deeply creative and it allows us to be deeply reflective. Introverts think outside the box. So more extroverted people see what they see and they're stimulated by their environment. And so they can have the experience of being limited by that. For introverts, they will always see beyond, because of their sensitivity, they see beyond the box. That is the gift. They see beyond the box. They're like, this is the box. Well, I wonder what's inside it. I wonder what's outside of it. We will look beyond that because we have that perception, that sensitivity to experience what's outside the barriers. We're very attuned to energy. And so introverts are very, very attuned to others' energy. So we can read people. We can see beyond what the words that are being said. We are able to, a lot of people will talk about how, some of their best friends, will be their closest, safest friend. The person that they'll go to for their deepest, darkest stuff is the introvert, because the introvert is a very attentive listener, is very perceptive, and is able to hold that space and is attuned to what is needed in any situation. They have very powerful observation. And so it is said in research, in psychological research, that some of the best communicators are ones that know how to listen and perceive beyond what the words that are being communicated. So that's a superpower. For you to be able to see through and actually sense if something's not quite right, or somebody's having trouble expressing something, but you can feel what's beyond what they're saying and able to give them insights. This is a major thing for me, a major gift for me, is that with my clients, I'll have trouble identifying something or articulating something, but I can feel beyond the words, because I can sense the energy. And so then I can support them with some paraphrasing and some questions to support them to have the breakthrough, and they can have massive breakthroughs. That's the gift of an introvert, of a sensitive soul. And they have the capacity to form deep connections. So one of the things with more extroverted souls is that it is about being seen, for them, being seen, and the energy being outside of them, and they're driven by that experience. With an introvert, we go deep with people, and human beings want to be seen, heard, and know that they matter. So a lot of people, when it comes to and mentorship, they want to be held by a sensitive soul, by an introvert. Now, I have spent over $150,000 in my mentorship over 5 years with mentors and coaches and healers, and the ones I always go for more introverted souls. Now, I have, in terms of being supported in that way, I have chosen otherwise. I've been with more extroverted souls who really entertain me and compel me and persuade me and draw me in through some of the experiences of how they share and show up. And as a sensitive soul, I felt lost and insignificant in those kinds of programs, being led by those kinds of coaches. And so this leads me to, if you are looking across the industry and you are seeing people, sound healers and transformational mentors and coaches and all different people doing their thing, and they're very out there and they seem very confident and they are spruiking from the rooftops daily and daily and daily and daily. And it feels like, how could I possibly compete with that? That, that squeaky wheel, that loudest part of the industry is going to get all the attention. Now, yes, right, that they get a lot of attention because that's the nature. They're entertaining. There's a star quality about them, and that's part of their soul experience. And I'm not dissing them because they have powerful missions too. Absolutely. What I'm talking about is your own speaking into your own zone of genius and what it is that you value and how you want to serve your community. And so when I took the journey of recognizing that I was taking myself out of the game, out of being seen online, out of being available to share my transformation, to take people on transformational journeys and share my gifts with humanity. I was taking myself out of the game because I was looking at that going, how could I possibly compete with that? Why would someone choose me over that? And they do. People do choose me over that. And I'm not speaking into competition. What I'm speaking into is you have codes and frequencies and lessons and wisdom and gems and powerful healing journeys to take people on that are from your soul to be transmitted to this other soul. They are destined to receive it from you. They don't hear it or absorb it or receive it from any soul. They are here to receive it from you. You have the recipe, you have the life experience, you have what it takes for them to receive what they need in order to transform. And personally, the most profound transformation I have ever experienced in my life has been the last 2 years working with a deeply sensitive, introverted mentor who could see beyond everything. Anything that I said, she could see beyond, see the undercurrents, see the belief systems. I have never felt so deeply seen before. In that experience, it did so many things. It opened me up to the gifts, the actual gifts available of being with in that intimate kind of relationship with somebody, that the bigger extroverted, very noticeable, powerful coaches out there don't create that level of intimacy with the people that they serve. They just don't. It's obviously not possible with so many people in their programs and them playing, presenting in stadiums and things like that. It's a completely different ball game. The gift that you have is that you weave these pieces into somebody's soul at a deep level. And that is the most profound experience. It makes our life so deeply meaningful to have that kind of depth of connection with somebody. So I have deep reverence and love and respect for everyone who's doing transformational work. None of this is disrespect or throwing shade on other personality types. This is a recognition of what my gifts are and what your gifts are. What you're here to do is to be seen by the people who are destined to receive from you. We're not meant to compete. We're not meant to. And one of the shadow parts for us is seeing something that's so different, someone and a way of being that's so different from us, and then letting it derail us, letting it take us out. All that is your own shadows and wounding that is not being tended to. And so you get to tend to those stories that you have, those stories that you're making it mean that who would listen to me? Why would someone choose me over that? There are a million reasons why people choose me over somebody else. And I know that now. And so the perception shifts that I've invited you to take around this being an absolute gift, and your sensitivity is your superpower, and the other steps to support you to break through this fear of being seen is that you want to know really clearly, you want to own your message, you want to know really clearly what it is that you do to help people. When you are clear with that, there's a knowing and certainty that shifts your frequency and the coherence between your cells. And when there's the coherence between your cells in your being and your whole being, including your multidimensionality, emanates this knowing and certainty, it's magnetism. People will naturally be like, I don't know, people say to me, I don't know what you do, but can you tell me? I want to work with you. And so that's because I had to get absolutely clear, and clear on what it is that my message is, and clear that I am a gift, and and I'm not competing with anybody else, and that my gifts are specifically for certain souls who are ready to receive it from me, that they can't hear it or receive it from others. It's my mix of codes and experience of life and way in which I deliver things that is for that person. So getting really clear on your message. Then self-recognition. Recognizing these pieces, recognizing your superpower, recognizing the transformation that you take people through, recognizing your soul essence, that you are here to do this, you've got this mission, and it is never too late. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new opportunity to go, today I'm going to be visible and I'm going to make an impact. And knowing that it is cumulative. It's not like today I feel scared of being seen and tomorrow I'm like, I'm fully available to be seen. It's not like that. It is cumulative. It takes practice, and that we just continue to work at it so that we can create that coherence between the cells. And that is our luminescence and our bioluminosity that helps communicate, helps the coherence, the communication between the cells, which then aligns with how we think, which aligns with how we speak, which aligns with what we believe. And then there's this beautiful coherence and this alignment that then creates that magnetism of the souls that are here to receive from us. And the final tidbit is give yourself permission to have a healthy ego. One of the things with introverts or sensitive souls is that we have demonized the ego. We've demonized the ego, and we don't want to be perceived as selfish or arrogant or any of those things. And when you know your soul when you know yourself so deeply and you align with your soul essence and you come from that fully expressed place of this is an inner knowing and this is what I'm here to do and share, that alignment creates a deep confidence that is a healthy ego. It is a healthy sense of self. And it is actually in that confidence and in that healthy sense of self that people feel trust in following us. If we don't have that confidence, people feel uncertain. They need to feel confident in order to move with us, in order to come forward and work with us. So this became bigger than I intended it to, but I wanted it to be really valuable and I wanted it to really support you. Now, we are going to go even more deeply into these pieces in a 5-day beautiful, powerful, transformational workshop that I'm doing next week. Starts Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, the 22nd of May through to the following Tuesday, the 28th of May. The link is in my Instagram bio, Sky Jade Collective in the bio. I invite you to come along, play a little more in this space, and let's together join together as sensitive souls to anchor this new paradigm of divine souls living their purpose and supporting the transformation of humanity daily, with new souls coming into your field and you doing your purpose work and being paid, I was going to say handsomely, being paid beautifully, being paid well for that experience. Have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are in the world, and let me know what you received from this transmission. I would love to hear.